The galaxy had never seen anything like this. On the planet Xylar 9, the largest diplomatic chamber in known space was filled with alien leaders from hundreds of species. Towers of glowing metal and glass stretched high into the sky, and floating platforms carried delegates above the crowd. Holographic displays floated everywhere, showing star maps, trade routes, and intelligence reports. The air buzzed with tension, anticipation, and whispers. They were all waiting for Earth's diplomats. Polite, cautious humans who would bring words of peace and agreements of trade. Aliens had prepared meticulously. Security forces, armed with plasma rifles and energy shields, lined the walls. Observation drones hovered silently above, scanning every angle. The chamber itself was a marvel built to impress, intimidate, and hold hundreds of species at once. And then, the doors opened. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Ships glided in from Earth's fleet, sleek, polished, without weapons visible. But when the doors of the lead ship opened, the whispers began to change. Instead of timid diplomats in formal robes, humans walked out wearing sharp, dark suits. They moved with confidence, with precision, with an authority that seemed impossible for a species many had considered weak and primitive. The aliens froze. Some leaned forward, curious. Others exchanged glances, puzzled. The humans carried no visible weapons, yet the aura around them demanded attention. It was as if the air itself acknowledged their presence, and the alien leaders could feel it. The humans walked in perfect formation. The lead human, tall and broad-shouldered, stopped at the center of the chamber. His black suit was flawless. His hair was neatly combed. His eyes scanned the crowd, calm, calculating, and sharp. He did not bow, he did not gesture. He simply stood, letting silence fall like a heavy blanket over the room. A murmur ran through the chamber. Aliens whispered to each other, some snickering nervously. "They are humans. They cannot be serious," said a reptilian diplomat, scales rattling with amusement. A bird-like species cawed, "They look bold. Perhaps too bold." Some laughed openly. The scent of arrogance, or was it fear, spread. Guards tightened their grip on rifles. Observation drones focused their lenses on the humans. But the humans moved calmly. Not a twitch, not a gesture of nervousness. Every step, every breath, controlled and measured. Finally, the human leader spoke. His voice was low, deep, and calm, yet it carried across the entire chamber. "We are not here as diplomats," he said. Silence followed. Whispers stopped. Even the humming of the drones seemed to fade. The aliens blinked. "Not here as diplomats." What did that mean? Some laughed nervously, trying to break the tension. Others leaned closer to their neighbors, exchanging worried glances. The human continued. "Earth has observed your galaxy for decades. We know your rules, your trades, your wars. We know how you measure power. And now, it is time you understand the true meaning of strength." A sharp hiss ran through the room. Some aliens whispered angrily, some froze in confusion. Their mockery faltered. For the first time, a species they had considered weak was speaking in a language they had never heard before: authority, command, dominion. One alien leader, massive and armored with thick metal plates, rose slightly. "What nonsense is this?" he growled. "We expected diplomats, not threats." The human leader smiled faintly. "We are not threats. We are solutions. But solutions require action, and action cannot wait." The chamber fell silent. The alien delegates looked at one another in fear and uncertainty. What could this small, unarmed species do to a galaxy filled with advanced technology and mighty fleets? Then, the human leader's gaze moved across the room. It was steady, unwavering, and magnetic. Every eye in the chamber seemed drawn to it. Even the security drones seemed to pause, caught in the gravity of his presence. "You may call us diplomats, humans, or even prey," he said. "But the truth is simple: we are apex predators. And we have arrived." A ripple ran through the audience. Some aliens laughed nervously. Some whispered among themselves. But the laughter held no confidence, only disbelief. For centuries, they had mocked humans, underestimated them, and assumed they were weak. And yet, here they were, calm, confident, and completely in control of the room without firing a single weapon. The human leader stepped forward slightly. His voice lowered, deliberate. "We did not come to beg, we did not come to bargain. We came to show the galaxy that Earth is no longer a world you can ignore. We came to remind you that power is not only measured by fleets or weapons, but by will, strategy, and courage. And Earth has all three." The alien delegates froze. Even the most arrogant among them felt unease creeping into their minds. What were these humans capable of? Their calmness, their intelligence, their aura of authority, it was unsettling. Finally, the human leader stopped. He looked around once more. No emotion, no threat, only certainty. The chamber was silent. Every alien present could feel it. Earth was not here to negotiate. Earth had come to dominate, in ways they could not yet imagine. The doors of the ships closed quietly behind the humans, leaving the chamber in tense stillness. Every alien leader whispered to themselves, their confidence shaken. For the first time in history, they had underestimated a species, and the consequences of that mistake had just begun. Outside, the stars of Xylar 9 twinkled faintly, unaware that the galaxy had just witnessed a new power rising. The alien council chambers on Xylar 9 were enormous. Towering walls glowed with energy lines, displaying holograms of distant stars, military fleets, and political charts. Hundreds of delegates from various species gathered, whispering nervously. The humans from Earth had arrived hours earlier, and the ripple of their presence still filled the room. The chamber had been built to impress. Every surface gleamed, every seat was a throne for leaders, and security hovered above like deadly shadows. But now, all that power seemed fragile. The humans had walked in wearing suits, no armor, no weapons, but their calm confidence unsettled every alien in the room. The lead human stood at the center of the chamber, hands clasped behind his back. He did not shout, he did not gesture wildly. He simply observed, and in that silence, he spoke volumes. Alien delegates began their questioning. "What is your intention, human?" hissed a serpentine ambassador, its scales rattling nervously. "Why have you come to our galaxy unarmed?" The human leader smiled faintly. "We came because the galaxy needs to see reality. You speak of rules, treaties, and power. But all of that is meaningless if you cannot recognize true strategy when it appears." The aliens exchanged glances. Some laughed, trying to break the tension. Others leaned closer, suspicious. One massive insectoid diplomat stomped its multiple legs. "Do not lecture us, human. Your species is weak, fragile. You should beg for permission to speak." The human's calm never wavered. "We do not beg," he said softly. "We do not fear. And weakness is not defined by size or fleets. It is defined by mindset, and by that measure, Earth is stronger than any empire here." The words hung in the air. A silence fell across the chamber. Delegates whispered to each other, fear creeping into their voices. None had expected a human to speak like this. None had expected confidence without visible weapons. Meanwhile, the humans began their silent inspection. They moved through the chamber slowly, eyes scanning consoles, communication panels, and holographic displays. They did not touch anything, yet their presence alone seemed to unsettle the guards. A simple glance from one human and a security drone would hover a little differently, as if recalibrating to an unknown threat. An alien general, scarred across his metallic face, watched with suspicion. "They cannot have intelligence this advanced," he muttered to his officers. "No human should be able to analyze our systems so quickly." But the humans were not touching the systems. They were observing, calculating, predicting. Each movement of an alien soldier, each flicker of a console light, was catalogued in their minds. It was a silent threat, more terrifying than any weapon they could deploy. Then, one human stepped closer to a central console. He tapped it lightly, not to open it, not to hack it, but enough for the alien operators to notice. The screen flickered, showing a hidden security flaw. Gasps echoed in the chamber. No one had expected a human to detect such weaknesses in seconds. The lead human spoke again, voice calm, but commanding. Your defenses are impressive, yes. But they are predictable. You rely on strength and fear. We rely on precision, calculation, and timing. That is why you will fail if you underestimate us. A ripple of murmurs spread across the delegates. Some leaned forward, curious. Others recoiled. The insects, reptiles, and avian species all realized that these humans were not ordinary. They were something else, something dangerous in a quiet, invisible way. Suddenly, alarms sounded not loud, but soft, a signal only the council could hear. A breach in the outer chamber was detected. The humans did not flinch. They had predicted this. Every step they had taken had set the stage for exactly this moment. Alien guards surged toward the door, rifles glowing. But the humans had already moved. One tapped a nearby console, and lights flickered. Doors slammed shut on their own. Security protocols locked out the guards, not with force, but with subtle control over systems the aliens did not even know could be accessed remotely. The chamber erupted in panic. Delegates screamed in alien languages. Security officers tried to override the controls. But every system they touched seemed subtly altered, anticipating their moves. The humans remained calm, hands behind their backs, observing the chaos with a quiet intensity. The scarred alien general whispered, almost in awe, "They are not using weapons, yet they control the room." The lead human finally spoke again. "We did not come to negotiate. We came to demonstrate. If you underestimate humans, if you believe your fleets, your armies, or your technology alone can intimidate us, you will fail. Every empire has weaknesses. And we have the patience to find them." The chamber fell silent once more. Delegates stared at the humans, no longer laughing, no longer whispering mockery. For the first time, a galaxy-wide council realized they were dealing with a species entirely unpredictable. The human leader's gaze swept the room, steady and unflinching. Every eye felt the weight of it. Every alien present understood that their arrogance had blinded them. Humans were not here for diplomacy in the traditional sense. Humans were here to change the rules silently, efficiently, and dangerously. Outside the chamber, observation drones picked up the subtle movements of human operatives. They did not appear threatening. They did not carry weapons. But the signs were clear: humans were already in control of small systems. The aliens had underestimated them. And for the first time, fear began to spread quietly through the galaxy's most powerful council. The lead human stepped back, straightened his suit, and spoke one final line. "We are not here as diplomats. We are here as apex predators. And this galaxy will learn to respect Earth, or it will fall." The room went silent. Even the guards stopped moving, unsure of their orders. Every delegate felt it, the quiet, calm authority of a species that should have been weak, yet was more dangerous than any weapon in the galaxy. The first silent threat had arrived. The humans had arrived quietly, and yet their presence already changed the atmosphere of Xylar 9. What had started as whispers of curiosity now grew into tense murmurs of fear. Alien delegates and generals could no longer hide it. These humans were unpredictable, intelligent, and calm in ways that made the strongest species uneasy. The chamber doors opened again, this time revealing a demonstration hall. The aliens expected a ceremonial negotiation, a showcase of polite diplomacy. But the humans had something else in mind. The lead human walked to the center of the hall. Around him, his team moved in precise formation, observing everything: security systems, control panels, and the alien guards. There were no visible weapons. No blasters, no blades. Only humans in suits, moving with the quiet confidence of apex predators. One alien general, towering with metallic armor, sneered. "What is this? A human display? Entertain us, then." The human leader's lips curled into a small smile. "Observe." He tapped lightly on a console that controlled the hall's systems. Instantly, the lights dimmed and flickered. Holographic panels projected false data, showing the wrong locations of the humans. Doors opened and closed without explanation. Security drones froze, then moved in unpredictable patterns. The alien guards tried to regain control, but every move they made was anticipated, blocked, or redirected. The hall erupted into chaos. Delegates shouted in alarm, orders were shouted in alien languages, and the smell of fear spread through the room. The humans did not run. They did not fight. They simply moved calmly, stepping aside, observing, waiting. A young human woman, part of the team, approached a panel and entered a series of commands. Without touching any weapons, a small section of the floor shifted, opening a trap that isolated a squad of elite alien soldiers. Their surprise was complete. The humans did not attack with force, they let the soldiers be trapped by their own systems. Panic replaced arrogance in their eyes. The lead human spoke. Power is not just about strength or weapons. It is about understanding, timing, and patience. You rely on fear and intimidation. We rely on precision, strategy, and observation. Watch carefully. This is the first lesson. The trapped soldiers struggled. The humans moved among them, avoiding confrontation but guiding the situation perfectly. Every movement was deliberate, calculated. The soldiers were helpless, not because the humans were stronger, but because they had outsmarted them at every turn. Outside the hall, alien delegates whispered among themselves. Some still tried to laugh, but their voices trembled. "They are only humans," said one. "They cannot be this clever." But cleverness was only part of it. The humans' calmness was more dangerous than any weapon. They radiated confidence, control, and intelligence that unnerved the most battle-hardened species in the galaxy. Suddenly, the lead human raised a hand. All the trapped soldiers froze. A holographic projection displayed their location, showing that the humans had already predicted every move, every escape attempt. In that instant, the aliens realized the humans were not just observing, they were in control. The leader spoke softly but clearly. "We did not come here to threaten without reason. We came to show you what happens when you underestimate Earth. Every empire, every fleet, every soldier has weaknesses. And we know them all." Panic spread faster now. Even the largest alien species, creatures taller than 3 humans stacked together, began to realize their security measures were fragile. Drones lost control. Alarms failed. Guards moved blindly, unsure of the humans' next action. One alien ambassador, covered in shimmering scales, banged its claws on the floor. "This is impossible. How can unarmed humans manipulate our technology so easily?" The young human woman looked up and replied, calmly, "Because we observe. We calculate. We wait for the perfect moment. You call it impossible. We call it simple." The lead human moved toward the front of the hall. "Your fleets, your weapons, your armies, do you think they define strength? True strength is knowing when and how to act. Today, you have seen the first move." A series of soft explosions echoed through the chamber. Humans had remotely disabled minor defense systems, cutting lights, power, and communications to sections of the building. Panic turned to fear. Delegates tried to flee, but the humans had anticipated escape routes. Doors and corridors shifted subtly, herding them in directions the humans controlled. The alien general tried to intervene. He raised his energy blade, a weapon capable of slicing through metal, and advanced toward the humans. But even he hesitated. Every step he took, every strategy he tried, had been predicted. The humans did not flinch. They did not react with aggression, but with calm awareness that unnerved the general more than any weapon could. Finally, the lead human spoke again. "You will remember this day. Not because of fear, but because the galaxy underestimated us. The first move is always the hardest. But once you see it, there is no turning back." The chamber fell silent. Even the guards stopped moving, overwhelmed by a species they had once considered weak. Humans had achieved the impossible. They had controlled the hall, outsmarted elite soldiers, and demonstrated dominance without firing a single weapon. Outside, the sky of Xylar 9 glowed faintly as patrols scanned the city. They did not yet realize that humans had already begun subtle control over key systems in orbit and on the ground. This was only the beginning. The first move had been made, and the galaxy's powerful species were now aware of one terrifying truth. Earth had arrived not as diplomats, not as petitioners, but as apex predators. The humans stepped back, their movements calm, collected, and deliberate. Their gaze swept across the chamber, hinting that greater actions were coming. Every alien present understood the message without words. Underestimating humans was a mistake no empire could afford to repeat. The humans' first move had shaken the council chamber, but that was only the beginning. Across the galaxy, alien colonies and research stations were buzzing with activity. Some were curious, some confused, most confident in their empire's strength until the humans appeared in ways no one expected. Far from the diplomatic hub of Xylar 9, small teams of humans infiltrated alien systems. They moved quietly, unseen, undetected. Communication satellites flickered under their control. Supply chains faltered mysteriously. A factory that had produced weapons for the Empire suddenly went offline, not destroyed, but paused under human influence. In one colony, a group of alien guards patrolled a massive hall. The humans were already inside. They had no blasters, no visible armor, only stealth and intellect. The guards saw nothing, yet alarms tripped themselves. Systems glitched subtly, doors locked, panels displayed false data. The guards panicked, searching for a cause that could not be seen. The lead human walked among the shadows, hand lightly brushing a control panel. The machines responded instantly, redirecting power and locking doors. A young human technician, barely older than 16, tapped a few commands and redirected communication signals. In seconds, the humans controlled the flow of information without a single visible weapon. Outside, in orbit, alien fleets attempted to respond. Ships moved to intercept, but human teams had already anticipated their routes. A small squad of human pilots used stolen alien navigation codes to block reinforcements, guiding ships into harmless loops while colonies remained undisturbed. In the Empire's central command, panic spread. Reports of unexplained system failures, missing personnel, and sudden human control caused whispers of fear. Delegates who had once mocked Earth now watched monitors with wide eyes, realizing their previous assumptions were catastrophically wrong. The lead human stood on a balcony overlooking one occupied alien city. Every empire has weaknesses, he said quietly to his team. They rely on structure, rules, and predictability. We rely on observation, timing, and subtle control. They cannot stop what they cannot see. A human operative nodded. Sir, the colony defenses are fully redirected. We can move to the next target without confrontation. Good, the leader replied. Do not rush. Every action must have purpose. The Empire must feel our presence before it reacts. Fear is a tool. Patience is a weapon. In another system, an alien governor realized his communications were compromised. Commands he issued to fleets and soldiers never reached their destinations. When he confronted his officers, he found they could do nothing. Humans had anticipated their every move, controlling data streams without firing a single shot. You cannot be real, the governor hissed. No species can manipulate systems this way. The humans did not reply. They needed no words. Their presence was enough. Every display of calm authority, every subtle manipulation of systems, told the Empire that Earth had arrived as something more dangerous than any weapon, a silent, unstoppable predator. Meanwhile, back on Xylar 9, alien intelligence reports reached the Council. Every failed communication, every lost facility, every unexpected human influence caused unrest among delegates. Some demanded immediate military response. Others whispered doubts, questioning the Council's ability to contain Earth. The lead human observed this from the shadows. They are beginning to fear, he said. They do not understand our strength, but they feel it. That is enough for now. Let them scramble. Let them react. Every mistake they make brings us closer to the next move. In the colonies, humans freed oppressed humans and other alien species who had suffered under imperial control. They used subtlety, intelligence, and timing. No one saw them coming. No one knew who they were. And when the humans moved, the result was chaos for the Empire, not destruction, precision strikes that undermined confidence, control, and trust within alien ranks. One alien general, scarred and metallic, reported to the Council, voice trembling. They are everywhere. Every system we control, they anticipate. Every fleet we deploy, they counter. We cannot predict them. They are shadows, ghosts, apex predators. The council erupted in arguments. Some insisted on sending fleets to crush Earth, while others feared further action. Every decision was slowed by doubt. Every hesitation gave humans more control. The lead human's voice echoed quietly across one colony: we do not seek unnecessary destruction. We seek influence, control, understanding. The Empire believes strength is in power and weapons. True strength lies in foresight, precision, and unity. They have none of these. And now, we hold the advantage. By the end of the cycle, alien colonies were unsettled. Communication breakdowns, subtle manipulations, and human interventions caused confusion and fear. No fleet, no weapon, no army could challenge the humans directly yet. But every empire-wide command now bore the silent mark of human influence. And somewhere, deep in the shadows of the galaxy, the humans watched and waited. Every action was deliberate. Every move calculated. The Empire believed it still held the advantage. They did not know that Earth had already begun to rewrite the rules. The first move had been bold. The second was silent. The third would be decisive. And the galaxy had no idea what was coming next. The galaxy's largest fleets gathered above the strategic colony of Vera Prime. Alien warships, bristling with energy cannons and shields, hovered in formation, ready to crush the human uprising. The Council believed this battle would end Earth's interference once and for all. They did not know the humans were waiting, calm, and fully prepared. From the shadows of an asteroid field, sleek human ships emerged. They moved in perfect formation, silent, precise, almost invisible against the darkness of space. Each ship had been outfitted with technology stolen and adapted from alien systems, subtle modifications, but powerful enough to turn the tide. The lead human stood on the command bridge of the flagship, eyes scanning the galaxy. Behind him, the crew operated silently, every action calculated, every movement deliberate. Today, he said softly, we show the Empire what it means to face apex predators. Not with weapons alone, but with intelligence, patience, and coordination. Suddenly, the alien fleets fired. Cannons blazed, beams of energy cutting through space. The humans did not panic. They dodged with fluid precision, their ships moving as if guided by a single mind. Each attack the aliens launched was anticipated, countered, or redirected. A massive alien dreadnought surged forward, aiming directly for the human flagship. The lead human gave a single command. The fleet shifted, the dreadnought overshot its target, and in seconds, the humans had disabled several of its systems. Explosions rippled across its hull. Panic spread among the alien admirals. How could a small human fleet counter their most powerful vessels? On the ground, humans moved like shadows. Elite squads infiltrated command centers, using subtle manipulations of alien technology to disable defenses. Doors locked automatically, sensors malfunctioned, and communication networks fell under human control. Every move was silent, precise, and devastatingly effective. The scarred alien general watched from a command tower, trembling. They are unarmed, yet they control everything. Every fleet, every station. How is this possible? They are humans, another officer whispered. They are clever, smarter than anyone anticipated. The lead human raised his hand, and a series of soft pulses spread through communication systems. Alien ships turned against one another in confusion. Small miscalculations amplified into chaos. Discipline cracked. Fear spread. The Empire had never faced an opponent like this. In the heart of the alien flagship, the human operative team infiltrated the command center. They did not attack with blasters, they manipulated controls, redirected power, and disabled shields. The alien commander struggled, issuing frantic orders that were already anticipated and countered. The lead human stepped forward calmly, voice steady. You have relied on strength for centuries. You have built fleets and weapons, enslaved colonies, and crushed opposition. But strength without strategy is weakness. We have patience, foresight, and unity. You do not. The aliens hesitated. That pause, brief as it was, cost them dearly. One human pilot rammed a disabled alien cruiser, creating a chain reaction. The fleet staggered. Command signals failed. Confusion turned to panic. And then, systematically, humans took control. Everywhere humans appeared, they became apex predators in the shadows. Alien soldiers, confident a moment before, found themselves trapped by systems they thought secure. Communications failed, corridors shifted, and entire battle plans unraveled. The Empire's confidence crumbled under the silent, deadly efficiency of the humans. Finally, the lead human addressed the remaining alien leaders. You may have called us weak. You may have underestimated us. You may have thought fear and intimidation could contain us. But the galaxy is changing. Today, you have seen the first full measure of human capability. An alien ambassador growled in frustration. We will rebuild. We will crush them, destroy Earth. The lead human's eyes narrowed, calm but fierce. You can try. But every empire that underestimates humans falls. We are the apex predators you cannot predict, control, or contain. And today, you have learned that lesson. Across the galaxy, colonies that had once been oppressed celebrated quietly, knowing the humans had fought for more than survival. They had fought for respect, for recognition, and for a future where no species could underestimate humanity again. The alien fleets retreated, scattered, and disorganized. Their command shattered, their confidence broken. Humanity had shown the galaxy what it meant to be apex predators, not with brute force alone, but with intelligence, calm, and strategy. The lead human stood on the bridge of his flagship, gaze fixed on the stars. This is only the beginning, he said softly. They thought they understood us. They do not. And they never will unless they learn humility. The Empire was wounded, shaken, and humiliated. The humans had won the battle, but more importantly, they had rewritten the rules of engagement. Every corner of the galaxy now understood a simple truth: Earth was not to be underestimated. The lead human turned to his crew. Prepare for the next phase. The galaxy will resist, but we are ready. And when they come, we will be ready to show them again what it means to face apex predators. As the human fleet moved away, the stars of Vera Prime glowed faintly in the distance. Smoke rose from alien installations, silent testimony to the humans' cunning and power. Every observer, hidden or distant, knew one undeniable fact: Earth had arrived, and it had done so with precision, intelligence, and authority that no species could match. The apex predators had struck, and the galaxy had no choice but to acknowledge their presence. The battle above Vera Prime had ended. Alien fleets, shattered and confused, limped back to their command centers. The once mighty empire now faced a reality it had never expected. Humans were apex predators, and their reach extended far beyond what anyone had imagined. On the ground, the humans moved calmly through the ruins of the alien council chambers. They did not celebrate loudly. They did not boast. Their presence alone radiated authority. The alien delegates, once arrogant and mocking, now whispered in fear. They had underestimated humanity, and that mistake had nearly destroyed them. The lead human stood in the center of the main hall, observing the remaining alien leaders. We did not come to enslave, destroy, or humiliate unnecessarily, he said. His voice echoed through the chamber, calm but commanding. We came to show the galaxy that underestimating humans is a mistake no species can afford. The alien leaders exchanged nervous glances. Some tried to argue, to protest, but the humans' calm control was undeniable. Every system, every door, every communication line was subtly under human influence. There was no escape, no secret advantage. The humans had already mastered the battlefield, both physical and psychological. A massive reptilian ambassador stepped forward. What do you want from us? He asked, trembling. The lead human smiled faintly. Respect. Equality. Recognition that Earth is no longer a planet to be ignored or mocked. Your fleets, your weapons, and your empires cannot intimidate a species united, patient, and intelligent. The choice now is simple: cooperate, or face the consequences of underestimating humans again. Every alien in the chamber realized the truth. The humans were not monsters. They were not conquerors in the traditional sense. They were precise, intelligent, unstoppable, but they demanded acknowledgement, not destruction. Every species present had a choice: adapt to this new order, or be left behind in chaos. Outside the chamber, colonies across the galaxy felt the shift. Systems once controlled by the Empire began operating with subtle human oversight. Supply chains stabilized, communication networks were restored, but always with the invisible hand of Earth guiding them. It was a new order, a galaxy quietly acknowledging the presence of a species that refused to be underestimated. The lead human addressed his team. "We have shown our strength. We have demonstrated strategy and precision. But this is only the beginning. The galaxy will test us, challenge us, and attempt to underestimate us again. We must be ready." The humans moved like shadows through the Empire's territories. They freed oppressed populations, restored control to the vulnerable, and subtly dismantled oppressive systems. They did not destroy civilizations, they corrected them, guiding the galaxy toward balance without violence where possible. In one corner of the Empire, an alien general whispered to his officers, "They are apex predators. They do not need to attack to win. Every move they make is calculated. We cannot predict them, and we cannot stop them." Back on the flagship, the lead human watched the stars. "The Empire believed strength was in fleets and weapons," he said softly. "They were wrong. Strength lies in unity, intelligence, and courage. And humans have all three." As the alien leaders began to understand, fear turned into cautious respect. They realized that Earth had not come to dominate recklessly, but to assert its place among the stars. Every move humans made was deliberate, every interaction a lesson in strategy and foresight. The Empire could rebuild its fleets. It could retrain its soldiers. But one lesson was unforgettable: humans were not to be underestimated. They had rewritten the rules of engagement, demonstrated the power of calm intelligence, and claimed their place as apex predators in the galaxy. The lead human stepped onto the bridge, looking toward Earth's fleet hovering above the planet. "Prepare for the future," he said. "The galaxy will resist, yes. But resistance is predictable, and we have patience. Apex predators do not rush, they wait for the perfect moment. And when it comes, the galaxy will understand the true strength of humanity." The stars of Xylar 9 glimmered quietly, unaware of the new order emerging. Alien fleets returned to their posts, systems recalibrated, and delegates returned to their planets, carrying tales of a species they had once mocked and now feared. Humans had not just survived, they had triumphed. And they had done it without firing a single traditional weapon in some cases, relying on strategy, intelligence, and control. As the humans prepared to leave Xylar 9, the lead human addressed his crew one final time. "Remember this," he said. "Our strength is not measured by weapons alone. It is measured by foresight, patience, and unity. The galaxy will come to respect us, or it will be humbled. And Earth will always be ready." The fleet departed, leaving behind a galaxy in awe and uncertainty. The Empire had learned a new lesson: humans were apex predators, calm yet deadly, intelligent yet unstoppable, patient yet unyielding. A new order had begun, and Earth was at the center of it. The galaxy had changed forever.